Want to speak real English from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at EnglishClass101.com.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Ask Alisha, the weekly series where you ask me questions and I answer them. Maybe. First question. First question this week comes from Iman. Hi Iman. What's the difference between is that how it is that how it works, that's not what it says, that's not how it works? Let's start with the first expression, which is that how it is? This is a very casual expression that you can use to express like confirmation about a situation or confirmation about a status, but it's often used with kind of a negative nuance. So for example, if your friend makes a plan that you disagree with, but your friend refuses to change the plan, you can say, is that how it is? It's kind of negative and it's kind of not so nice to use. So is that how it is? That's the first one. The second one, is that how it works? This is an expression that we use to confirm how to use something. Maybe it's my first time using an iPhone, for example. When I get something right, when I learn how to use something correctly, I can say, usually with an upward intonation, oh, is that how it works? Meaning, oh, is that the correct way to use it? So we use is that how it works to confirm the correct way to use something. So you can use this with a computer, with like a car, anything that you are learning how to use. Is that how it works? So you can use this expression as confirmation before you do something too. The next expression you asked about is that's not what it says. That's not what it says is used to express disagreement about written information. Let's say you're making instant soup or like instant ramen or something, and you decide to pour cold water over your noodles to make the soup, but your friend says, no, look at the package. That's not what it says. So it here means the package, and says refers to the written directions on the package. So that's not what it says means there's some mistake here, or you've made a mistake. So the written directions don't match your behavior. That's not what it says. You can use this to express disagreement about written information. That's not what it says. The last expression was that's not how it works. That's not how it works. This is something that we use to express disagreement about how to use something. You use something incorrectly. That's not correct. That's not how it works. So I hope that that's helpful for you. Next question. Next question comes from Kevin Wang. Hi, Kevin. Kevin says, sometimes I see sentences like, your dad must have had it for at least 2 years. Why do they use have had, and what are the rules for this? So actually, don't think of it as have and had being attached there. Instead, what you should focus on in this sentence is the must have here. So must have had. When we want to talk about a high level of possibility in the past, we use must have and then the past participle form of the verb. So in this case, the speaker is making a guess about something the listener's father owned in the past for at least 2 years. So your dad must have had it for at least 2 years. So it's a past tense situation. The speaker is making a guess about the past, but the speaker is making a guess with a high level of confidence. So they use must have. Must have shows a high level of possibility. She's not here. She must have gone to work. The kids are in the car. They must have finished swimming. He's smiling at the office. He must have had a good meeting. So all of these are guesses, but these guesses show a high level of confidence. There's a high chance that the speaker's guess is correct. So the speaker uses must have plus the past participle form of the verb. Hope that's helpful for you. Next question from Mifta. Hi Mifta. What is the difference between astronomy and astrology? Right, okay. So astronomy refers to the scientific study of space. So that's like stars and planets, everything outside Earth. That's the scientific study of it. Astrology refers to the idea that we can make predictions, make guesses about human behavior, and those predictions are based on the positions of like stars and planets and things, and those positions can influence human behavior, can influence our lives. Hope that's helpful. Next question. Next question is from Afeef. Hi Afeef. How do I study English speaking, or how do I improve my English speaking skills at home alone? Yeah, thanks for the question. Check out this video. I talked about it in this video right here. I think the answer is at the 12-minute and 40-second mark. So there are several tips there for how to study English alone at home. Hope that helps. Next question. Next question is from Oscar. Hi, Oscar. Oscar says, what's the difference between it's up to you and you're up to? Oh, okay. First, it's up to you means you can decide. So, for example, where do you want to go for dinner tonight? It's up to you. What movie do you want to see tonight? It's up to you. Where do you want to go for this weekend? It's up to you. You can decide. Your up to refers to things that the other person has been doing. So we use it in expressions like, you've been up to a lot of interesting things lately. Or a useful question is, what are you up to? Meaning, what are you doing? As in, what are you up to this weekend? Or what are you up to tonight? To check what someone else is doing. You can also use this for the past. What have you been up to lately? These are very nice questions to ask instead of how are you or what are you doing. Up to you means you decide. What are you up to means what are you doing. Next question. Next question is from Kiara. Hi, Kiara, again. So what does sunglasses mean and what do sunglasses mean? Sunglasses is a plural noun. Should we use do instead of does? This is interesting. Okay, here your example sentence is a little bit tricky. So when you're asking about the meaning of a word, even if you know that it's a plural noun, don't worry about that in this example sentence. What does blah 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 mean? You can use anything in this pattern. This is because you're not actually asking about the object. You're not actually asking about that thing. You're asking about the word only, the word itself. So just use does. What does sunglasses mean is fine because you're looking for the actual meaning of the word. You're not asking about that actual object. You're not asking something about sunglasses. So in this specific example sentence, you can always use what does blah 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 mean. So native speakers do that too. What does something 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 mean? If we don't know an expression or if we don't know a phrase, we can use anything in that pattern. However, if you want to use a plural noun like sunglasses or any other plural noun in a sentence similar to this, you do need to change. What do sunglasses do? Or why do pants have pockets? Or who do penguins see most frequently? Please use do as you would for other plural nouns then too. But great question. Nice point to consider. Thank you. Next question. Next question comes from Kim In Tai. Hi, Kim In Tai. Okay, what does spirit animal mean? As in, what's your spirit animal? I don't think we have that kind of question in my country. Also, what are some possible answers? Okay, a spirit animal can mean different things depending on the person that you're talking to. Generally though, especially on the internet, we use spirit animal to refer to an animal that we think matches our personality or matches our behavior. So for example, if I'm a slow, lazy person and I don't like to do a lot of activities, I could say a sloth is my spirit animal. Or if I'm like an aggressive person and I'm alone a lot and I'm like maybe see myself as like a fighter or a hunter, I don't know, maybe I could say a tiger is my spirit animal, for example. It's an animal that we feel closely matches us somehow. And it can change, like maybe on this day I feel a connection with this specific animal, so we can say that. Just do be careful. There are some people who have maybe a religious or a spiritual belief that strongly connects them to a spirit animal, or you might also hear the word, I think, spirit animal guide, perhaps. But just pay attention to the situation, and I think you can quickly understand how the person is using spirit animal. My spirit animal, I usually think, like, depending on the day, my spirit animal is either a flying squirrel or a platypus, because both of these animals are kind of like in between animals. They have a little bit of a couple different animals in them, but like a flying squirrel is kind of like flexible and adaptive and has lots of energy and goes really, really quickly. But then the platypus is just like this silly looking creature that swims around looking for food all day and then sleeps forever. So like depending on the day, I feel like I'm sometimes a flying squirrel, sometimes a platypus, I don't know. Those are all the questions that I want to answer for this episode of Ask Alisha. Thank you so much for sending your fantastic questions. They're really, really good. Keep them coming. If you have not sent a question yet, please make sure to do so. You can send your questions to me at englishclass101.com/ask-Alisha. If you liked the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Check us out at englishclass101.com for some other good resources, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks very much for watching this episode of Ask Alisha, and I will see you again next week. Bye bye!